I feel like I'm mentally in a good place. Personal life's where it needs to be, and I'm ready to put on a show. You know, come May the 13th. And now I feel like everything's covered. I feel like I've got all the bases covered. I'm ready to move on, and I had to take that time to sort of go and find myself a little bit. It feels like it's never supposed to happen. You're like, it's not supposed to happen, but then when you realise, you look back in history and you go, right, yeah, this guy had that fight, and he lost then, and then he's come back from that. He's did this, he's did that. Listen, things are supposed to happen the way they're supposed to happen. Whether you're a Leonard fan or a Hagler fan or a Hearns fan, it's like a football team. When your football team loses, you don't just go, nah, I'm done with the football team. So it's like everyone has their fighter where they support and they back them, and that's what I think boxing really needs to go back to. It is a job, so you have to be clever in that sense and take the fights at the right time, what makes sense. But like, people are being shy of fighting, not fighting people who they really should be fighting or stepping into, because they think, if I lose that, then I'm going to be put on the bottom of the show. I'll not get back on the shows. I'll not do this. So everyone's trying to keep that winning record until they sell it to someone.
Right, October Red Boxing here with the lovely, the supermodel, pretty boy, boohoo man. Anybody else? Josh Kelly.
Andy, what's happening, Andy? You good? You good? What's happening? You alright? I'm cool. I'm good, man. Good.
It's been a minute. Like I said, it was almost a year ago we were standing here talking about you signing with Wasserman, and now you're going to be fighting on May the 13th. Talk to us a little bit about that, and how have you kept that patience waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of things I had to deal with in the meantime, from then till now. So now, since I got them short, brushed to one side, I feel like I'm mentally in a good place. Personal life's where it needs to be, and I'm ready to put on a show. You know, come May the 13th. It's perfect timing. I'm feeling fit. I've got another 6 weeks, which feels ages because I've just been training. So I'm ready. I'm ready now. But listen, we'll take our time. We'll get there 6 weeks time. Be perfect.
You mentioned that you needed to get some things straight. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to go into any detail, but I remember last time we spoke and you touched on something that the viewers weren't really aware, and it's about the importance of mental health.
It's a big thing in boxing. A lot of people sort of say, a lot of people, because we're macho men, aren't we? It was what it's supposed to be anyways, and supposed to put this front on. But yeah, things were happening in personal life, which that was the sort of the feeling getting over the loss come a little bit after actually dealing with the personal side. So I had to go back and deal with that first, and then once I dealt with that, then the feeling of the loss, that's when that come over top. So I had like two things, but the first thing was getting the thing sorted personally, and then once I dealt with that, put that to one side, then I obviously thought, right, these are the reasons why I lost, this is why, this is da-da-da, and then I went through it. And now I feel like everything's covered. I feel like I've got all the bases covered. I'm ready to move on, and I had to take that time to sort of go and find myself a little bit. And I think everywhere, like, if you've got that time to do it, then why not? I'm still young. I've only just turned 28. I feel as I'm young in myself. I've got like ADHD kid syndrome, so I never grow up. So I'm always like bouncing off walls and stuff. So yeah, man, I'm feeling like I'm being in them tough, hard fights yet. I mean, last one was there and thereabouts, but I'm ready. I've got a lot more to give, so can't wait.
I like that attitude, and the thing is that you've touched on actually dealing with losing a fight, but the way you said it's like dealing with a loss. And for 1 second I thought, oh my gosh, has somebody passed away? But it's like that sullen look that you have when you're on a winning streak. You've been built up by the platform. You're this face of boxing. Everything, that pressure, everything is there. Then all of a sudden, you lose a fight.
It feels like it feels like it's never supposed to happen. You're like, it's not supposed to happen. But then when you realise, you look back in history and you go, right, yeah, this guy had that fight, and he lost then, and then he's come back from that. He's did this, he's did that. Listen, things are supposed to happen the way they're supposed to happen. People, that's my career, that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's wrote. So if it's wrote like that, it's wrote like that, it's out of my hands. So I've just got to believe in it and just say, listen, yeah, I know I've took that loss, that was there for a reason. This is what I need to do to get myself back in the best position to perform next time. And that's why I'm here, that's why I'm so I'm like a little bit more relaxed. Before, for that last fight, I was all on edge. I was bringing this like sort of energy. Now I'm back to my normal, just happy go look yourself, which makes us more dangerous in the ring. So
yeah, the fact that you've said that. Do you think then, and this is you talking to other fighters, this is you talking to the fighters that remain undefeated at this time, do you feel that there is a benefit and a lesson from losing, apologies?
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to keep that 0. It's at Mayweather come in, sort of changed it all, keep the 0-0-0, but like, if you look at like the fighters back in the day where you were like Leonard, Duran, Hearns, Hagler, he boxed him, he beat him, and then you were either a Leonard fan or a Hagler fan or a Hearns fan. It's like a football team. When your football team loses, you don't just go, nah, I'm done with the football team. So it's like everyone has their fighter where they support and they back them, and that's what I think boxing really needs to go back to. I mean, it's a mad sport as it is. Like, you got everyone jumping on the boxing. You got like YouTubers fighting, promoting. It's absolutely crazy. But like, I think that little old school mentality where you go, right, listen, losing, you fall forward from a loss, don't fall backwards. If you go backwards and you think, like, you need to turn that loss into, right, yeah, I've learned from that, I'm an actual better fighter, because with that experience I haven't got, then, do you know what I mean, I wouldn't be where I am now. So them little things I'm going to use for my next part of my career. I'm ready to really push on, get the next couple of fights under my belt, be busy, and then start trying to get them names again.
It's refreshing to hear you say that, and you're so right about the Mayweather era where they always become so precious, but you mentioned something that's key there. We need to go back to how it was when the fighters were mixing it up, and sometimes they'd win and sometimes they'd lose. How important is that for today's boxing?
So you got young kids coming up and they're thinking, I can't lose, I can't fight him, I can't like him, and this is, and it's I mean, boxing is a business, it is a job, so you have to be clever in that sense and take the fights at the right time, what makes sense. But like, people are being shy of fighting, not fighting people that really should be fighting or stepping into, because they think, if I lose that, then I'm going to be put on the bottom of the show, I'll not get back on the shows, I'll not do this. So everyone's trying to keep that winning record until they sell it to someone, you know what I mean? And then they're selling it at the top to guys who's like been in there, mixed it, done it. I mean, you like to see, you've got Ugas, who's a world champion at the moment, fighting Spence. Ugas has had his knockbacks, he's had a couple of, he's lost, hasn't he? Yeah, he's had a couple of losses. So like, to think of all these lads who've had that experience, you think yourself, listen, you can only grow from it. Like I heard a couple of lads here today, life's like it's a full journey. Do you know what I mean? It's grown as a person as well as a boxer. So that's what I want to get out at the end of this as well.
Growing as a person then, and as a boxer, they life is boxing, boxing is life. You're looking now to take the centre stage again. How have you improved as a boxer?
These last 6 months when I've been in the gym, I haven't been, the first part of my career, it's been like, right, you're in, you're fighting, you got a big fight. I never had the chance to really go, right, sit back, relax, what can I add to my game? Now I've just sat the last few months and went, why don't I try this? Right, this is feeling nice, I'll try that in sparring, right, that feels good, we'll keep that to one side, we'll move this in, and then also going, this is what you do, don't get involved in what you don't need to do, just do what you need to do, you know what I mean? I've got fast feet, fast hands, and that's what I need to pride myself on, fast feet and fast hands, and not getting hit. So if I do that for 12 rounds, then you can't be beat if you don't get it. So that's what I pride myself on.
Definitely, you were somebody that was able to throw those, those combinations, and I'm sure I remember you throwing about 20 hooks once. I was sitting down, standing up, counting them, saying, what on earth is this kid doing? You were, an entertaining fighter. Like I said, you've gone away, you've come back, and there's going to be what sounds like to be a new and improved Josh Kelly. We're really looking forward to seeing what you've got to offer.
Yeah, I'm still going to be entertaining as I normally am, but I want to get in there and be able to be a bit spiteful and get the job done. Don't get paid for overtime. I know I carry power, speed equals power, and I've got a lot of speed, so I want to just start being able to just shut fights down. But Yeah, I'm not. To be fair though, this next one, I'd like to go the distance to full 10 because that would give us the rounds back I need. But if it goes early, it goes early. If it doesn't, then it's all better for me. I'm just in there to keep learning. Like every fight will be a learning fight.
Have you got any news on who your opponent's going to be at this time?
I'm not sure. There's a few names being flying about. I'm not sure if they'll confirm one, as I just got know today or yesterday. I'm not sure, but there are a few names are flying about. But it's another. I've never boxed anyone with a losing record. Oh, this guy's got a heavily winning record. And he's tough and he's game and he wants to come and win. So that's the main thing. I'm not fighting no people who's going to lay it down. So it's going to be another good fight.
And when we say that, it's sort of, well, slightly shorter notice because we've seen today with the head-to-heads, they know who they're fighting. They're having time to study their opponents, look at the possible chinks in the armour, etc., and things that they can manipulate. How important is it for you to be able to adapt then and there in the ring? Boxing off instinct is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. A lot of the time, before I prepare for fighters, and they come out and did things totally different, and I'm like, you know what it is? That's my what I like. For instance, like Ray Robinson was a good example. He boxed on the back foot. I thought he's going to go on the back foot, and then he come out and start putting gradual pressure on. I thought I ain't sparred anyone like this. I ain't really prepared for this sort of style. So what I need to do is cover all bases in training. Have the tough fighters, the skillful fighters, the fast fighters, the strong fighters, and then just make because I'm as awkward as they come. So when I get in there, make myself as awkward as I can be, and let them figure me out, not the other way around. Do you know what I mean? Let them figure me out. So yeah.
I like that. That's the confidence speak. No, but it is good. I mean, somebody said to me once, it's not about worrying about your opponent. Let them worry about you.
Let them do the worrying about yourself, because if you're confident in your training, you shouldn't just say, listen. Do you know what I mean? You look at we referred to him before as the era, but you look at Mayweather, he rarely changed his style, but he boxed a lot of different people, and he prepared. It's one of them where you go in there, you know your strengths, you box to them, and you do whatever it takes to get the win. So, and that's what I'll be doing this next part of my career. It's about winning. It's about winning and being able to be in them big fights and testing myself. It's going to be a good. I'm excited, man. Channel 5. Let's go.
Channel 5, where everybody will get to watch it. It's a wider audience, terrestrial TV. We can all sit at home, not worry about any apps, not worry about anything. It's like, okay, let's jump onto Channel 5. Exciting times. How do you feel about it? Because you're someone that has boxed across the board.
I feel like I heard it was coming, so I wanted to wait out and get on their first big show. So it has. So it's worked out for me perfect. It feels like everything's come at the right time. I'm ready to kickstart this next part of my career and really start making waves again, like I'm used to. Do you know what I mean?
We are really excited to see you back out. Josh, you was one of the home names for boxing, and it's a good time to be back out. We're happy to see you back out, and I can't wait to see what you're going to bring to the ring come Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some.
Hey, unlucky for him. Unlucky for him. Mm-hmm.
October Red Boxing with the lovely Josh Kelly. Until the next time, hopefully I'll see you fight night.
100%. Thank you very much, and catch you soon.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.